right, welcome to the pre-show, everybody.
Happy Monday evening.
Happy Monday evening. Hey, we're actually getting off at a decent time. We're not even like 8:30. This is good. All right, let's see here. All right, so we got a good show tonight. Oh, wait, talk. I want to make sure people hear you.
Oh, yeah, sure.
There you go. Yep, you're good. And do we have sound from the soundboard? Are you hearing that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
Yes, I am.
That's weird.
Doesn't sound as clear as it normally does, but I hear it.
Let's put that there. Cable output. Okay. Although I can't monitor it. Hold on, let me see if I can get it so I can monitor it. That goes to the monitor. Soundboard monitor off. Let's put monitor on. Beautiful. All right. Wait, was that doubling it?
Untap a keep and draw.
Nope. Good. Let's see.
Johnny the Man has no audio from the soundboard. And then apparently I'm a little low.
All right. Yeah, but you always kind of talk a little low, and then you... Yeah, talk again. Talk some more.
All right, fine. I can talk some more.
Nope, there you go. Yep, that's good. Yeah, all right, good. Let me make sure it's not still low.
Untap a keep and draw.
It's going through both channels, so I'll turn that down. Wait a second.
Main phase.
That's weird. It's going through two different channels. Okay, so what I need to do is, this is going to be the speakers. Put to default. Aramis, talk.
I don't want to talk.
There we go.
Main phase.
Okay, yeah, see, now it's going through both. It's almost echoing. All right, it should be fine. I know what this is. I know what the problem is. Okay. Fix that. Bingo.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
All right, we should be good now. All right. Okay, I still have to dial things in. Thank you, Windows. All right. Okay, we've got everything set to go. Let me pull up my software here. Apple, I'm not updating iTunes right now. Jeepers. All right. Oh, got to arm that channel. Make sure that goes through. Yep, good. Okay then, OBKB. That's what was happening. Okay, the repeater stopped sending it. That's why, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. All right, let's get this show on the road. You over the red button?
Sure.
Okay, I'm over the red button as well. So let's handle this. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, click.
Click.
Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the PlanesTalkers podcast, the show by casuals for casuals. I'm your host, Will Benson, joined as always by my, hey, with Historic Brawl back in, I can play Zakama all day long, co-host Aramis Perez. Aramis, how are you, sir?
Find a way to play Zakama without Historic Brawl. Thank you very much.
You did?
I did.
How'd you do that?
Untap a keep and draw.
I have my ways.
Well, we're going to find out about this then. But before we do that, before we do anything else, we want to remind you guys that this episode and every episode of the PlanesTalkers podcast is sponsored by Kerwin's Game Store. Kerwin's Game Store is New York State's premier source for collectible card games, tabletop games, miniatures, comic books, retro video games, and toys. With their clean, open gaming areas available to everyone at no charge, we hope someday soon. Kerwin's provides a fun and inviting atmosphere for new and experienced gamers alike. They have locations in both Catskill, New York, and now on the second floor of the Poughkeepsie Gallery in Poughkeepsie, New York. Kerwin's Game Store is 100% the best place to go in gaming. They have an awesome website. If you're not from the capital region area, you just go to KGS Online. That's KiteGoSamuelOnline.com. And put in a promo code of PlanesTalkers at checkout. You'll get 5% off your online order. We also want to take a second to recognize our Planeswalker level patrons. David, Jonathan, Johnny, Bell, Anthony, Steve, George, Josh, Ian, Spencer, and our newest patron, Chiba Tank. We want to thank you guys. You know, you guys help the show out in just so many ways. We really appreciate everything that you do. There's a ton of perks for that. The biggest, getting a chance to play with us on our Wednesday Commander Craft broadcast, which we already have our first challenger. It looks like Apple really wants to come back for more. So I told him absolutely. I think he's the first one. So that's definitely something. You know what? To find out more about our patron program, go to https://patreon.com/planestalkers. We want to remind you as well of our Wednesday night show, Commander Craft. It's where we play listeners like you using webcams, and we play 4-person Commander. So we're back to constructed decks this week. We're no longer doing the pre-cons. And to just be a part of this, just email us or reach out to us on our Discord. We'd love to have you sit in with us. It's a lot of fun. It's casual. It's not, keep your CEDH deck at home. But come and hang out with us because it's a lot of fun. And we want to remind you guys as well that next Monday, not tonight, next Monday, is our special 100th episode call-in show. So we record every week on Monday. And so next week, we're going to do a special call-in show using our Discord. Just go to our Discord for more information. I'll put the information up there about what it's going to be like. Basically, we'll have a waiting room, and then we'll bring you guys in and just have conversations with you about Magic, Commander, Standard. We could talk about Modern, and I can look like a ridiculous moron because I know nothing about it. But, Aramis can speak to it quite eloquently. So, and we're still in Untap. So what I'm going to do now is untap. I have, you know what? Sometimes I just buy beers for the name. This is an American double IPA, and it's called Quantum Cuddle Kitten.
Quantum Cuddle Kitten.
Quantum Cuddle Kitten from Lone
first of all,
Pine Brewing in Portland, Maine.
First of all, now you have to say it 5 times fast.
Quantum Cuddle Kitten?
Yeah. Do it. Go.
No, I don't do anything like
that. That's content.
Ooh,
that's content. Do it.
It smells good. It smells very good.
Quantum Cuddle Kitten. Quantum Cuddle Kitten. Quantum Cuddle Kitten. Quantum Cuddle Kitten. Quantum Cuddle Kitten.
Wow, that's hoppy. Holy cow. Wow.
Is that the quantum or the cuddles?
That would be the cuddles, I think, or curdles. I'm not sure, but it's all right. Occasionally I want a little hot, man. I'm good with that. So, but Aramis, how the hell are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I got the rest of my Strixhaven Commander decks much sooner than anticipated. I just got the Quandrix deck today, so I now have all 5. I don't have to wait till the middle of June to get them all, which is fan-freaking-tastic.
Well, yeah, Walmart has them right now. I almost contacted you. I was going to be like, listen, you want me to pick up one of these bad boys?
It's no longer necessary. So I got them all. I picked them apart for the pieces that I've been looking for my long-term Commander project, the 32. It's a nice little chunk of cards I no longer need to get. And I'm that much closer to deck number 14 being completed.
Wow. Are you going to play it this week?
No, I still haven't ordered the rest of them, but I got a big piece of it taken care of. So I'm probably going to place the order for that.
So what will you be playing this week?
I'm not sure. It's going to depend on what the table, how the table feels.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let that be the determination. I have a couple decks in mind. There's a few that I want to play that haven't seen too much airtime on the show, so I'm hoping to be able to roll with those. But
I think Sakama's seen more than fracking enough. I'm just going to lay that out there right the hell now.
Zakama will return. I mean, it's like the end credits after Captain America movies. It will return.
I still don't even know what I'm playing. I haven't torn apart any of the decks yet. I think I'm going to end up having to buy 2 complete sets because my wife, if my family plays Commander with me, they only want to play the precons, but I'm like, there's some damn good stuff in these things. So
Yeah, the Quandrix deck, I pulled about 20 cards out of it.
yeah, I got to pull a few out, I think. So I think I'm gonna end up spending a little more money this weekend, but that'll also be mildly my Modern Horizons. Yeah, this past weekend was Mother's Day. Did you do something nice for Pam?
Yep. It did. Actually, she hasn't gotten her present yet. We have to find a time to go to get her present because of COVID restrictions and everything. But I made her a nice French toast from scratch. Found a recipe online for some really
Aw.
nice French toast. Basically, let her just do whatever she wanted for the day, and took Ollie to go run some errands, so that way she had a break from being a mom for a few minutes, which is nice.
Yes.
And it's tough. When you have a 7-year-old with ADHD, you have a chance to get away, you take it.
Absolutely.
So.
We had a freaking house full. We had my wife's parents who, her dad's, he's doing okay. He's just it's a little harder. Every time we see him, he gets a little weaker and weaker with and stuff. And her mom's just at her wit's end right now. But they're doing okay. And we also had Nick and Sandy, who her ex-husband and his fiance. So we actually had the kids had their whole family here this weekend. Both moms were here, and I think we're gonna do that for Father's Day too. Is
Cool.
Host everybody here because we sat out back. The new grill is fracking-tastic, and I'm loving my life right now with regards to that grill. And my daughter did all the cooking. And, we're working with her on a few things. Like, Isabel, if you're cooking meat, you need to close the grill occasionally because, oh, dear God, it took 45 minutes for the first set of dogs to come off. I'm like, no, honey, you have to close that. So, but we had a pretty good night. We had a pretty good weekend. Wendy got some nice stuff from the kids. A lot of plant stuff. She loves that outdoor plant junk. And a candle, a woodwick candle. So, and it was kind of it's tougher. It's a little harder on Mom's Day for me, and I imagine for you as well. There's always a piece missing. So,
Well, yeah, I mean that goes without saying. But the day was a good day.
it was. Yeah, that's
And,
what I thought too. I was like, this is pretty great.
Yep, that's all it's about, having a good time and making sure that she gets whatever she wants.
Right, exactly. And so, and I did some streaming stuff over the weekend and stuff like that, but it was pretty quiet. I mean, here's the thing. We're in jail mode. I'm now a prison warden for my youngest son because the little guy will not go to class, and he's remote, and he's not getting his work done. So the PlayStation was completely taken off his wall in the other room. We unhooked the Fire TV, and we don't have regular TV, so he has no television in his room. And he has no technology. I have his computer locked down to where it shuts off at 4 o'clock. He cannot log into it. It's just... And we spend the whole weekend now just being prison wardens.
Warden!
He's sitting there. He's starting to sing the blues, and... he's starting to. I think he's fashioning a shiv at some point to take me out.
You're gonna get shanked.
I'm gonna get shanked. I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen. My youngest is gonna shiv me like it's his job.
He's gonna boot down the door. He's gonna be like, Attica.
Which is funny because I work in a jail now. So.
Mm.
So. But let's go to Upkeep because we do have a ton of stuff. And again, you guys, we're gonna be dropping this reminder quite a few times tonight. Don't forget, next Monday night is our 100th episode, and we're doing a call-in show. If you are able to get on at 8 Eastern time Monday evening, we would love to have you come on the show and talk to us for just a few minutes about your experience with Magic. You definitely could talk about how much you love the hosts of PlanesTalkers podcast, especially the fat dude with the really kicking beard. I need the props. To be quite honest, I'm somewhat insecure. So any positive vibes you can give me.
He just wants to be stroked.
I really do. There's nothing wrong with that. Every guy wants to be stroked. Now there's something that we should highlight. Anyway, let's go into Upkeep. So tonight's show that has not gone off the rails yet. We are going to go through the Forgotten Realms previews. They did come out last week with some info. They previewed, they've been doing this lately. They do like a smattering of cards just to kind of wet the whistle. And we, as we often say, we don't do spoilers here. Other stuff is kind of being spoiled already. People are getting like, cards and stuff, and leaks are happening. We're not going to cover those. These are official from Wizards, so we'll go through those. We'll talk a little bit about Modern Horizons 2. Now, we are a standard / Commander podcast. So Modern Horizons 2, it impacts us as far as Commander goes, but it also impacts us in a few other ways. So we're going to kind of touch on that. Just real quick glance. No combat yet, but you never know. And then main 2, we're going to talk about the state of standard. There's been some movement in decks. The Arena Open was this past weekend, and they had some problems.
I have a feeling that's going to be the majority of main 2 because that was
bad.
To bury the lead. Yikes.
Yeah. And then Return to Paper Magic, May 28th for most U.S. locations. We're going to talk about that. I've talked to a few of the gaming stores we have relationships with, including Kerwin's Game Store, kgsonline.com. That's kgsonline.com. And found out what they're planning to do. And, it kind of runs the gamut. So it's definitely worth discussing. And then we also have our tournament winner. So we have our champion. The info's been sent to Kerwin's. They should be sending out his box any day. So let's get right into main here, and let's start this off.
Main phase.
All right, main phase. So last week, Wizards came out about, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday again, with some news, man. They came out with it was on the MTG Weekly Cast. And they talked a lot about Forgotten Realms, which is the official. We've been calling it the D&D set, but it's Forgotten Realms. Which, if you play D&D, there's a whole things. Oh, good, Johnny, he got it today. Yay! How do you know, Johnny? Are you? You better not have joined twice, dude. No. So anyway, the state. So Forgotten Realms is like a D&D staple. So that's what they're calling it. It's Dungeons & Dragons Forgotten Realms. It's in a Magic set, so that won't be confusing for anyone at all. And they kind of went through kind of what they were thinking about it, what the point, how they're trying to do things. They're really looking to kind of tell a D&D centered story through, through Magic. So I think that's kind of cool. I'm kind of down with that. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes through, but we've got some cards we can preview here. So I put up our little slideshow here. Look at that. You can't see it.
I can't.
But let's go ahead and you've got the slideshow though. You should have the doc, right? It's in slides.google.com, or I could just tell you what they are, and you can talk about.
Yeah, tell me what the first card, because there's not a ton of cards that they talked about.
Yeah.
So
well, the first one's obviously not to bury the lead, but holy crap, Tiamat.
That was Tiamat.
Tiamat, Tomamat, Topamat. I don't care. Topographical map. I don't know what the hell it's called, but
I'm gonna say Tiamat.
Tiamat.
You all can say, potato.
How about Tiamat?
Timmy.
Tiamat.
Timmy.
No, we can't do Timmy because Tim is.
Are you going to tell a 5-headed dragon god that its name can't be Timmy? Because I'm not.
I will. I'm not afraid of 5-headed dragons. I deal with 3-headed dinosaurs all the damn time.
So you have chosen death.
So Tiamat, Photomat, which, kids, ask your parents what Photomat is. Sorry, wait, kids, ask your grandparents what Photomat is.
I don't know what that is.
Huh?
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what Photomat is? Dude, those were those little, kiosks in the middle of, parking lots where you would drop film off. They'd send it out to get developed, and then you'd go back and get it. It was literally just sitting in the middle of parking lots. You're kidding me. You don't remember Photomat?
Never went to one, but I've heard of them.
Oh, wow. I am wicked, wicked old.
Don't forget where I grew up, kid.
Yeah, you grew up not very far from where I grew up. Don't give me that shit.
Yeah, in the middle of effing nowhere. I had more Amish people than photomats.
Yes, and they didn't really take pictures so much as make you sit down and they painted it. So, wow, that just got rude. Anyway, Tiamat. Tiamat. Damn it, how did we end up where we're going to call this? Tiamat? Tiamat.
Tiamat.
Yeah, okay, Tiamat. When Tiamat enters the battlefield, okay, so he's a 5-color, he's a Werber.
She, actually.
Huh?
She,
right. Ah.
yeah, no, she, definitely she.
When she so she's white, blue, black, red, green,
And 2 colorless.
So 7 converted mana value. See what I did there? CMV. And she's obviously it's a dragon. She's flying. And when it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, search your library for up to 5 dragon cards not named Tiamat that each have different names. Reveal them, put them into your hand, and then shuffle. Which, by turn 7, there's almost no dragon you cannot get out turn 8. That just... Okay, you know what? It's costed right. Don't get me wrong. It is. It's costed right. That's more of a commander card.
This is the commander card. This
Yeah.
I mean, you can't look at this card from a standard tournament perspective because it's not for that. This is big, splashy. This is prototypical 5-color commander, dragon tribal, or changelings.
Ooh.
So,
I mean, yeah, I think you're going to see dragon commander decks like huge. I won't be surprised if one of the commander decks is a dragon deck. Actually.
well, I mean, there's already the Dragon, and
Yeah.
there's and Ramos, and there's a bunch of other 5-color commanders.
Niv would work in this.
Niv Mizzet Reborn, yeah, that would work because it's a dragon. That one's a dragon avatar, but still a dragon. It's cool. It's awesome. I'm looking forward to see if they have Bahamut.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
if you have Tiamat, you have to have Bahamut.
Yes, I agree. So I mean, and this is kind of cool. I'm digging it. I'm here for it. Again, it's commander. Do I think it'll see standard play? Sure. Someone will find a way to cheat this thing out turn 5.
Yeah, but you have to be able to cast it, and getting
Yeah.
Blueberg +2 on turn 5 is kind of rough.
Yeah.
We don't have the mana base for that right now.
Would be
Even
nice,
with all
though.
all those lands come into play tap, but it's like so far the few cards that they've shown, it's been like Thornvale Drain on the flavor level, just an absolute home run.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited about this. So I think this is definitely a good card. I think I especially like the alternate art, which you can see on our screen there. It's the one on the right. I mean, just, at first I was a little bit like, do we need more borderless? And then borderless foil. Honestly,
Well, they've gotten better with the borderless showcase stuff, because before it was just, they sort of like weirdly cropped and stretched the image.
yeah.
But now they're actually telling the artist, hey, listen, if you're painting a card that's going to be borderless, do more stuff around the edges.
To
so
be
that way we
honest, I
can-
think they should get rid of the borders altogether. Like, just make them all borderless, because I think this is fantastic. I think that looks really, really good. But I understand that I'm fighting an uphill battle on that one. So let's go to our next card here. This is definitely another D&D staple. It's called Portable Hole with an H, not WH. Portable Hole. It's for 1 white. It's an artifact. And this is definitely a D&D piece of equipment. When Portable Hole enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls with mana value 2 or less until Portable Hole leaves the battlefield. So in D&D, this equipment creates a 10-foot deep hole that by 6 feet like around that you yourself can hide in if you're trying to avoid combat, or you can hide other creatures in to get them out of the way. So until you and then you can you throw them in it and you kind of can fold it up and then unfold it later. So very cool, very, very flavorful for D&D. If this is what we're going to see in this set, I'm on it. I'm on board. I am on board.
This is also a fairly powerful card.
Especially in
Legacy formats. Hi, babe. How you doing? Love you.
And now, breaking news. Hi, Pam.
I love it,
Yes, because my wife doesn't listen to our show anymore. She's too busy being cool.
babe. Ooh.
I'm doing work.
She's
I'm
actually
still
working. She's doing work. That's what she wants us to say. She says she's doing work. Because, cutting down trees in RuneScape is work.
I'm not playing RuneScape.
I know you're not. But they don't know, and it was funny when
We
they thought
can't
you
see
were.
her
It's
screen.
not funny. I'm working.
It's very funny.
I'm gonna throw things at you.
Shocker.
That is always funny.
It's not
That is
funny.
that is always funny. Yeah.
Aramis says
What-
that's not funny.
I have
No,
wet
that's
tea bag.
always funny. What
Honey.
selection
Aramis,
does she
what do you
have
think
honey?
about
today?
a wet tea bag?
Honey, you cannot throw what this. No.
Oh, please, the wet tea
The
bag.
Mac.
Yes.
The Mac. No.
That has so
Wendy?
many innuendos. Do it.
First of all, there's no teabagging on the PlanesTalkers show.
Oh, now I need to.
You will not teabag me during my podcast.
You just want to hear that satisfying wet slap when it hits the side of your face.
Don't do it. What are you doing? Stop it! Jesus, stop it! God damn it, woman!
There it is.
I don't. First of all, I don't like tea, so
Oh, that's great.
I'm gonna get a portable hole and put her in it. All right.
Oh man.
Wow.
So yeah, portable hole. Great
Portable
card.
hole. Welcome back to the show.
Portable holes. It's very good removal, especially in like legacy format,
Right.
modern. It's good in commander. That's a nice turn one soul ring.
Well, a mana tea, yeah. Because it's a non-land permanent. What's really cool about it is,
Mhm.
Okay, turn one soul ring. Well, my turn one, I'm going to take it away. Ha ha.
It's just it brings people back down a bit. So when you play your turn one soul ring, it's not there anymore.
Right. Or mana crypt.
Or mana crypt, yeah.
So, the portable hole, that'll see play in every format, I think, standard, and because we haven't had a really good cheap removal for a while. So
Yeah, I'm not so sure of standard, although I would not be surprised. There are some, the aggressive decks would not like to see this card very much.
Right.
But I think it's not as good in standard as it is in other formats, but overall I think it is a good card.
yeah, I'm having to agree with you. I don't think I'm coming through the mains. Holy shit. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
There we go. Can you guys hear me now? Yes, I see it moving. And Aramis talk. Oh, you're not coming through. Oh, damn it.
Hear you.
This thing is... All right. Yeah, you can hear me because we're talking on the Zoom. I'm talking. We weren't going out through the mains.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, now we're better. Okay. So, moving on, which, what I'll end up having to do, oh my gosh, like, our video for this is going to be useless, so I hope we don't lose audio tonight. That would suck. That would be a bad day. All right, moving on. So, let's do the next thing here. Power Word Kill. This is, again, another D&D staple. It's a black and a colorless. It's an instant. Destroy target non-angel, non-demon, non-devil, non-dragon creature. A little bit too specific for my liking.
It's not as restrictive as you think.
Yeah.
Because typically, a lot of those cards are expensive.
Right.
The devils are the only ones that would be usually on the cheaper end of it. Like, there's no real dragon that costs less than like 5 or 6. So you've got other. There's not a lot of echo now from Johnny. It's not like there's going to be a lot of early game targets for this that would be restricted by the. Oh, it's only on your side. That would be
That's
restricted by its creature typing.
Yeah.
This kills pretty much everything else.
Huh.
So it's gonna be one of those cards that is this is any format. Now I'm gone.
Yeah, no, I'm working on it.
I'm gonna keep talking.
There you go. You should be on both now.
Okay, but yeah, it's very good. I'm pleased with how they're costing things with this little taste test, a little free sample that we get of these cards. I'm excited to see what the rest of the set has to offer. There's a couple of cards in the back of my head that I'm sort of checking off, saying I hope this like legend is.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. This is going to be an exciting, the more we see of this set as time is going on, I think the more we're going to really enjoy what's coming. How's it sound now, Johnny? You can hear him and me? Oh, I'm sure. I think he's like 7 seconds behind us. Okay, so let's go to the next thing here. Got that white pitch noise, but no Aramis again? Huh. Yeah, something's happening. Okay, let's do this. Hold on. Okay, that's my voice. This is going to be... I'm going to add... Oh, you're kidding me. Okay, now I see what's happening. Well, what's nice is that this won't be this way for the show. Like, when the podcast will be right. Okay, so the microphone is right. This does not need to be there then. We should... You know what? I'm just going to actually remove this completely. Okay. And then... Okay, now talk, Aramis.
I am talking and making words.
How's that, guys?
Is that any better?
Yeah, okay, good. All right, we're good. Okay, so let's talk about the last big card here. Well, I shouldn't say that, but non-mana type card. Prosperous Innkeeper, which almost every D&D thing has one. Every campaign has one. He's a 1 and a green. He's a creature. He's a halfling. Now, I'm loving that the halflings are coming into play here because they're the hobbits.
Yeah, they could have done Kithkin, but they're like, nope, we're going to stay true to the source material and going to make them halflings.
Yes. So when Prosperous Innkeeper enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. Cool. Nice. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. This will see some play, I'm pretty sure. Especially in ramp.
It's solid. Yeah, it's a solid card. I mean,
it's an uncommon for 2 CMV. Yeah, I'm liking this. You see what I think converted mana value is going to be my thing, man.
It's no Edgewall Innkeeper.
No, thank God it's no Edgewall Innkeeper. What the frick? Bite your tongue. That damn thing should be banned by now.
But it's solid. I'll be curious to see how much play this sees. But it somewhat replaces itself since the mana it generates is from a treasure.
Right.
Doesn't draw you a card or anything like that, but it's not bad.
Right. It gains you life though. So.
Can I do the next one?
Yeah.
I have the slides open now.
Ah. I didn't know you had slides open. I wouldn't have done all these. Damn it. Why are you making me carry all the... Why do I have to do all the heavy lifting? For frack's sake. I'm editing this thing. What the fuck?
Well, I opened it when we were having sound issues.
Ah.
So I have it now. So yeah, Edgewall Innkeeper is cool. But I think for a lot of people, if you've played D&D for any length of time...
Prosperous Innkeeper. Edgewall Innkeeper is rotating the hell out of this system.
Yeah, go away. If you've played D&D for any length of time, at one point or another, you've heard of this piece of equipment. And I'm glad they made this the buy a box, because that's going to hook a lot of people in. It's the Vorpal Sword. It goes snicker snack.
I'm in danger.
So Vorpal Sword is a artifact equipment for 1 black mana. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has Death Touch. its equip cost is 2 black, but it's the activated ability of Vorpal Sword, which I think is interesting, flavorful, and just freaking cool. You pay 5 and triple black, so 8 mana. I think it's appropriately costed for this effect. Until
Not
end
for
of turn-
Commander. Not for Commander.
Yeah. Until end of turn, Vorpal Sword gains whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game. So it just kills them.
I'm pretty sure that I could see the Commander people being like, this one we might not want to have in EDH right away.
Oh, it's fine. It costs 8 mana. But I can tell you right now, already know this is going to go in Anthony's deck.
Oh hell yeah, it's
third
gonna go.
rank.
It's gonna go in anyone who's running Voltron, man. Any Voltron deck will have this in it.
8 mana, kill somebody? Sure.
Oh,
I like it.
This is gonna end horribly. So you know. Can't play it too long, man. We'll get kicked off.
Yeah, that might have already been too long.
Ah! No, but yeah, look, I think this thing is a great card. It is the buy box. Boy, I could see the Commander Council being like,
It's too color intensive. Not every deck can play it.
if I build a Turgid deck, you better fucking believe this will be in it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a reason to, but like Zakama couldn't play this.
Right. So finally, the last things I got is I have all 5 mana here, and the reason I put these in is that the flavor text is fantastic for this. I mean, the artwork too is really, really great.
Well, it's also the first time flavor text has ever appeared on Basic Land.
Yes. So I mean, I don't know if you guys can see it on the screen, but for Forest, it's like before the Elf Queen will aid you, you must find a way to cure the strange rot afflicting the roots of the ancient trees. For Islands, it's like, alarmed by the news you brought, the storm giant king of the maelstrom has called his kin to council. So like, there's just little nuggets, man, all over these cards.
Yeah, they called them like adventuring prompts.
Yes. So
I love it. It's great. It's basically it's saying, you know, this is the beginning of a campaign, and this is what's going on. And I guess there's 3 or 4 different versions of each land, and each of them have different flavor text.
yeah, this is gonna be. I really like what they're doing with the set.
It's like a love note to D&D.
Yeah, and so you know what, I'm here for it. Like usually we have no problem being somewhat critical of, Wizards. I mean, let's face it, we have no problem doing that. But this time, you know what, I've got hope, man. There's hope.
Well, and the set's taking the place of the typical core set for the year. I'm not sure if core sets are coming back next year at all. We'll have to wait until they do the roadmap for 2022. But you can probably expect the overall power level and complexity of the set to be somewhat less than what we've seen. It may still be, fairly highly powered because we've seen some really powerful core sets in the past.
I was gonna say, Core 2020 was
we've
fucking
seen some,
ridiculous.
Core 19 was really good too. I mean, there were some. The last few core sets have been pretty good as far as overall quality, and it's just I think
21 was the one where they finally started. I mean, other than Ugin, they kind of finally started to dial it back a bit. But
there were some good really good reprints in that set.
Yeah, there was
Ugin, Azusa, and there were others. But overall, I don't think we'll have to be, unless they pull another Field of the Dead, which was a core set card, or Golos, which is a core set card.
Agent of
overall,
Treachery.
Treachery, yeah, that card ended up getting banned, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, so
It was ridiculous.
but generally, I mean, the core sets they take it from like a 9 or a 10, they go to an 8 or a 9.
Yeah.
It's they pump the brakes a little bit. So
I mean,
hopefully they keep doing this, but at the same time, it looks like flavor-wise, the set's going to be really, really cool. I've been itching to play D&D again since I stopped back in high school, and just this is sort of a way to sort of segue into it a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting as well from the perspective of, okay, so there is no core set. So core set staples like Shock, Opt, that type of stuff. That's kind of like a fog effect of some sort.
Well, they'll have Shock. I mean, I'm pretty sure Magic Missile is going to be in there.
Yeah, that's true. So, but I mean, could you imagine if they rotate out of Eldraine without Shock or the Giant? Like, how about Lightning Bolt? There are Lightning Bolts in D&D, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can. It's not impossible.
God, I would love it. I'd love it if, you know what, Birds of Paradise and Bolt. Let's bring Bolt and Paradise back for this set. I know they
Just to see
won't.
what happens. They won't.
I know
it'd be
they
nice.
won't, but
It'd be cool to see. It also makes me think that, since they put Tiamat in there, and obviously it's Dungeons and Dragons that they're doing, that there's going to be probably at least 5 or 6 dragons in this set.
There's going to be a lot of dragons, and that's been building for a while. You can see it. They've been throwing dragons in almost every set since Theros. There's been at least one.
Those are Red's iconic creature.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you see angels, you see demons, you see dragons pretty much all the time. The one thing that I found out that Morrow confirmed is that the D&D set is not part of the main Magic story. So we're not going to see, like,
there's
Jace.
no lore. Right.
It's not. It doesn't count for the lore. You're not going to see Jace or Vraska or any of the other planeswalkers from the main story showing up here. I believe there will be planeswalkers.
I was gonna say, like, wait a second,
but they're not gonna be. They're not gonna be like showing up somewhere else later.
Sure.
But it's also
won't.
not. It's also not a Universes Beyond. It's technically Universes Beyond, but it's not. So it's still, so it's going to be standard legal. But it's not going to be part of the main story. So it's not going to advance any of the threads that we've seen. So like whatever happens at the end of Strixhaven, we're going to have to wait until Innistrad to pick up the story again.
Well, good for them. So I for one am very, very happy with it. Let's pivot because we're already at 37 minutes. Let's pivot into Modern Horizons. Again, we're gonna just touch on this a little bit because first of all, I think Modern Horizons pre-orders now, right?
I think you can. I haven't seen it. I asked Kerwins about a pre-order situation. I don't think they're doing pre-order because
they don't know how many they're going to get.
Well, and the problem is that a lot of LGSs have reported is that their allocation of draft boosters is even less than what they got for Strixhaven, which was pitifully low. However, their set booster and collector booster allocations are fine.
Yeah.
So that sort of tells you where Wizards has been drifting as far as what they want to push. They want to push.
Well, I mean, and the professor talked about that last.
He talked about that.
He put a video out last week where he kind of discussed that, and that is what they're doing, and it makes some sense, I guess. Don't get me wrong. I do agree too that if you sit there and say, "Well, we're doing it because nobody should be drafting right now. We're in the middle of a pandemic." Afangu. All right, that's crap for crap's sake. Crap. No, I'm sorry. That doesn't wash. It doesn't fly with me. I'm not even gonna dignify that with a response. But Modern Horizons 2 is supposed to be pre-ordering. I probably will pre-order a box. Because, again, the reason, why would I pre-order a box of Modern Horizons 2 if I don't play Modern? 2 words, ladies and gentlemen. Fetch lands.
Mm-hmm.
There will be fetch lands at the rare slot. at the rare slot, probably in mythic numbers.
There's going to be a lot of fetch lands floating around because here's the thing. Unlike Modern Horizons 1, Modern Horizons 2 is getting the booster fund treatment. So you're going to get set boosters. You're going to get collector boosters. There's going to be your regular frame fetch lands. You're going to have extended art fetch lands, both available in foil and non-foil. There's also going to be the fetch lands available in the old border.
So you're saying I should buy a collector booster?
Collector booster box, because here's the thing. There's already, it's speculation, but there are some people out there with the thought that if you manage to pull a foil old border like Misty Rainforest or Scalding Tarn, that card could very well hit 4 figures because of how desirable they are in that frame and how rare that's going to be to pull a foil old border fetch land.
And to place a pre-order, please keep checking kgsonline.com.
Of course, the collector boosters are going to be running about $350 a box.
Yeah, that's not even.
So
You know what? It's better than the damn VIP boosters, which were $350
VIP
for
booster.
4 packs.
It was $100 per pack.
Yeah.
Yeah. The regular boosters are probably going to be about double the price of a regular booster pack. The set
It's
boosters
going to
are
be like
slightly more than
it's
that.
going to be a Masters. It's going to be
Yeah,
master
it's basically
figure master
priced
pricing.
around. It's going to be priced about the same at Modern Horizons 1, except Modern Horizons 1 didn't have set boosters or collector boosters. So you can expect the collector boosters for Modern Horizons 2 to be around the point of Commander Legends, which I think were like $35, $40 a piece.
Right.
So I mean, in that respect, you're probably better off buying in bulk if you can get it at about $350. If you do decide to take the plunge and get a collector booster box, I'm on the fence only because that's a little bit too rich for my blood.
Me too.
But-
as far as lottery tickets go.
But
You
the
know.
thought of pulling a foil old border or something like a Scalding Tarn, Verdant Catacomb, something like that is very tempting.
Yeah, but for me, from where I'm sitting, okay, I'm of two minds on the subject. On one hand, yeah, I'd love to crack a box. On the other hand, there's a part of me that kind of wants to wait until the prices all go down because everybody's cracked boxes for these fetches. Because really, at the end of the day, I need fetches. I just need them. I don't have a set yet.
It's not going to happen with these fetches.
I know.
It's not going to happen with these fetches because
Well, maybe the other style will come down a bit. That's what I'm saying.
no,
It's like,
that's the problem. No, it's going to be the regular border ones. They'll drop a little bit because people are going to be trying to crack open collector boosters. If you manage to get your hands on a old bordered one,
but
that's gonna be something
again,
that
for me, I don't need that. I just want to play it. Like, what do I got? I think I got 5. I think I've got Scalding Tarn, Bloodstained Mire, Misty Rainforest. I got like 3 or 4, because we opened them during, the Return to Zendikar or whatever, Zendikar Rising. Like, you and I ended up opening like 2 or 3 apiece. But, I mean, yeah, like, I just want a set. Not even necessarily a play set, because we play a lot of Commander these days. I'm fine with one. Because I rotate them in and out of decks, or I'll create a proxy because I have one. I'm like, well, look, I can prove I've got one. I'm just proxying it so we don't have to switch decks. That sort of thing. Yeah. So I don't know that I can justify the cost of a collector booster by any stretch.
I guess for me it'll have to be what else is in the set.
True.
What else is in the set? And I mean this is obviously the huge selling point for the set is the fetch lands. I'm glad that they're doing this. One of the reasons I don't think it's going to really drop the price so much is because of the price point of the booster packs. If these were in regular priced standard legal, not even standard legal, but a supplemental set where it was priced normally like Battle Bond was,
yeah,
then yes, this would absolutely drop the price of fetch lands because people would be cracking these in crazy numbers. This will still sell very well, but it won't sell, I think, as well as it otherwise would have if the booster packs were the normal price.
Right. So, I mean, that's just it. We're going to talk, of course, more about Modern Horizon as we get closer. And, as more and more stuff comes out, and more stuff comes out, we'll talk about it too. I mean, again, we play Commander, so obviously that would be our main reason to do it. And maybe to break into Modern. Like, to finally start being able to break into Modern, because really the prohibitive cost of Modern is almost always the fetch lands.
Yeah, the mana base.
Yeah, the mana base is ridiculous in Modern, and so, and again, it makes incredible sense for them to print these in this set. Like, there should never be a Masters Modern Horizons set that they put out that doesn't have them in it, because there's no reason. Everybody needs them. Everybody needs them. And if you're playing Modern, you need a gosh damn play set of them.
Well, and the thing is, too, is that even going back so far as Legacy, is like if you don't have original duels, you can get away with having fetch lands and be okay and be competitive. You don't need taigas and tundras and underground seas. You can get away with Scalding Tarns, but Scalding Tarns are still expensive. So this hopefully will bring them down at least for a little while.
Yeah, I think Scalding Tarns are sitting about 70 now, which is nice because, I mean, at their highlight, they were 120. When you bought me mine for Christmas, it was 120. Yeah. Look, I mean, that's just insane. For one piece of cardboard. But I get it. So let's go to combat because, again, time's getting kind of crazy here.
Combat.
And then we fog it, so...
Main phase.
Okay, so main phase. State of standard. So again, we have had some movement. Sultai Control came back like gangbusters this week. It's sitting
I had
in...
a feeling that was coming.
Yeah, me too. Well, it got a toy or two, didn't it, out of this new set?
Probably. Yeah,
Well,
Professor
Quandrix
Onyx.
Cultivator. That really did help it.
Professor Onyx.
Professor Onyx. It is Professor Onyx. So, and there's some other really cool stuff, and yeah, it's still there. And I'm sorry, Alrund's Epiphany is a great card. Like, that was a card even I was sleeping on.
Mhm.
Like, I didn't realize how good of a card it puts games away.
Yeah,
It really
I mean,
does.
It's extra turns. And
Yes.
really, I mean, a control deck, all it wants is to take as many turns as possible without letting the opponent do anything. So if you have a chance to get an extra turn, you take it. Could you imagine if that was Nexus of Fate?
Oh, don't even get me started. So, Mono Red Aggro, they've completely just put it back to where it was before. They tried swapping in a few things here and there and out of the new set, and Strixhaven didn't really help it at all. So, they're like, okay, back to work. Demir Rogues is still kind of continuing its tumble. But Naya Adventures is coming off the in fourth place, and Jeskai Cycling took another tumble because people realized, we just have to stop you from casting Zenith Flare. If we can stop you from casting Zenith Flare, either by killing you before turn 5, or play a control deck and just countering that goddamn spell, we'll do it. So, definitely worthwhile. Other than that, it's pretty standard running around. Prismari midrange is still hanging in, which I kind of dig. I wanted to see a Strixhaven deck. Like, you want to see that on every new set.
Again, this is just the power of Eldraine really squashing the whatever new toys that the new sets bring in. We're not going to see anything really change until rotation at this point. I mean, Adventures of the Forgotten Realms, again, since it's kind of a quasi core set, I would be surprised if any major changes come from it. The standard format is pretty mature at this point.
I'm thinking very seriously that our next win a box for Forgotten Realms, I think I am going to call it like rotation standard. Now, it won't have Forgotten Realm cards in it, so maybe we'll let them take core set 21, keep core 21, and be like, there you go. That's your card pool. Like, no Eldraine. See what you can build. Rogues. It'll just be, God, more rogues. You know what? We're going to have a ban list. Because
we'll have to see.
Nothing against you, Tom. We're glad you won. But although, I mean, I'm reading the chat here, and Johnny's like, well, I didn't have enough wild cards, so I had my buddy, and I lived vicariously through him. I don't know here. I think Johnny might be playing us a little bit. So that's kind of the state of standard. Not much has changed, but it's cool. Let's talk about the Arena Open, because holy cow.
Yeah.
And once again, Wizards of the Coast grasps defeat from the jaws of victory.
I mean, talk about a punt.
Oh, jeez. They cannot win for trying. If you don't know what happened, basically, the Arena Open was Saturday and Sunday. But the way Arena Open works is day 1, you have to qualify in day 1 to be able to play day 2. There were 2 problems that people were not aware of. First of all, the biggest one was day 1 trying to get in a queue. People would pay their gems. People would start trying to play. And people would
4,500 gems, by the way.
And people would sit waiting for server for an hour. Like they couldn't get matched in a match. And it would happen repeatedly and repeatedly. They'd walk away and come back, and then all of a sudden the timer runs out and they can't play anymore because it's now Sunday. This pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah, I mean there were
and rightfully so.
Yeah, oh absolutely. There were people who, like, you need to go, what was it, 7-2 or better on day 1.
Yes.
Qualify for day 2, and if you do, it's like 7-1 or better on day 2, you get $2,000.
Right.
which fantastic. But the problem is that with these issues, some people were getting locked out in the middle of their games. So there were a lot of people who were like, "Listen, I was 4-0, got timed out, ended up losing the next two at six after I was going 6-1. I lost the next two, and then I was out. And if I hadn't gotten that match loss, I would have made it." A lot of people ended up being essentially disqualified for day two because of an issue on Wizards' side. Now, Wizards has apparently said they're going to reimburse the gems of some of the people who were affected by this, which is good. I'm glad that they're doing that because I think that's the bare minimum that they can do.
Everyone.
Because if you think about it, people they blocked out their day for this. It's
My
like, hey,
feeling is this though. Everyone. You know what? We're returning them all. Even those of you who won, everybody's getting their gems back.
That should be the. Well, here's the thing. Somebody apparently, I think the Magic Historian talked about this. Someone paid for their 4,500 in gems. They went to the store, bought the gems, spent those gems to enter the event, got locked out, called Wizards customer support, and got reimbursed in gold. Which is,
I'd lose my frickin' mind.
Yeah, because it costs 22,500 gold to enter, or 4,500 gems. The thing is, gems are more valuable than gold.
Gems are currency. They're real world money.
Yeah, they're both currency, but there are certain events in Arena that you can only enter with gems. So theoretically, you could have used those 4,500 gems to do other things that you couldn't do with gold. And I think it costs a normal draft is 1,500 gems or 10,000 gold.
Yeah.
So 4,500 gems is 3 drafts. 22,500 gold is 2 drafts.
Yeah.
But even then, he's getting less than what he put in back. So again, like I said, Wizards has gone out and said that they're going to refund the gems or the entry fee, whatever it was, of a bunch of people that were affected. I think that's a bare minimum. I agree with you. I think it should be anybody who entered that event should have their entry reimbursed.
Because that's obviously and that's just it. Half the people aren't going to. First of all, it's not like Wizards makes it easy to contact them. It's not like there's a button somewhere that says, "Hey, contact support and talk to us." No, they're going to make you jump through 75,000 hoops, and you're going to be like, "Is this really worth my time?"
And there's a couple of really disheartening things about this whole situation. The first one is that, this was a sealed event instead of constructed.
Right.
So the bar was lower. More people had a chance at this than they would have if it had been a regular standard or historic event because, deck building skills and things of that nature. Getting a random pool takes a lot of that away.
Right.
It levels the playing field somewhat. So, of course, more people are going to enter. And having this issue happen during an event like this, there may have been people who are like, well, I don't really want to do tournaments, but I'll do this one. Because why not? It's a good chance for it, and I may actually have a shot if I get a good pool and get a little lucky. And then they get completely hosed. How many of those people have been turned off from Arena for good? Second of all, what the hell? You guys are supposed to be, you're touting this platform as a legit esport with, all the possibilities of what that can bring. This client's been out for a couple of years now, out of quote unquote beta, and this should not happen ever.
Yeah.
If you're holding an event like this. And this actually is, if you think about it, it's not even that big of an event. If you want to have this be an esport and run multi-million-dollar tournaments, you have imagine if this had happened during the World Championships.
Oh yeah.
You cannot have these issues. This game has been out way too long to have these kinds of issues. If a server blew up somewhere and that's what's causing it, you should have a lot of backups.
Yep. We've talked about that too.
Yeah,
I have real issues with how they do things. It's
their system and their infrastructure for a company as big as, honestly, Hasbro, especially since now Wizards is his own division. They make upwards of, $500 million a year, I'm sure, in revenue, if not more. They got to figure this out. They got to figure this out yesterday. This cannot happen again. If they want this game to be any sort of an esport at all, which right now it's laughable at best, they need to fix this. I'm glad that I was on the road all day Saturday so I didn't have to deal with that because
Oh, you'd have lost your mind.
I would have lost my mind because I wanted to play in this. I wanted to because it was sealed, and I love sealed, and the prospect of winning, I could have used an extra $2,000. Would have been nice.
Sealed. I'm a seal. Okay.
That too. I sit in the tub all day.
Yes, but I just, there's no excuse. No excuse for this at all. They should refund everybody. And because again, you are trying to build a brand and you are trying to build something, I'm sorry. But again, I'm sorry. All right. This is not like Fortnite or anything else like that. Where
the way things are going, it never will be.
No, but what I'm saying is that Fortnite is, you can play Fortnite and it's not really pay to win. You could be pretty good and just do well at Fortnite. This game, especially when you're entering into a tournament like this, the line between gambling and just playing an esport blurs. You're having people spend gems or the gold currency, which at one point it was just going to be gems. It's hard to not call this gambling. And I'm sorry, all right? But you know what? If the slot machine breaks down in a casino, like, I get my money back. This is just ridiculous. They need to do something.
It's a little bit less of the gambling analogy for this one because yes, there's a cash prize at the end and that you have a chance to win, but it's less gambling in the fact that like when you're playing like poker.
Yeah, poker's gambling. Whether at the end of the day,
but there's a random element.
It's a skill game, but it's a gambling skill game. I can get behind that. But this is similar. All right, but it's just as much gambling as poker would be.
The random element is still there, and the skill level is still there, still necessary. I just think it's less of a random element than just saying, "Hey, give me $25, pull the slot, the slot handle, and maybe you win $2,000." Maybe not.
At the end of the day, with poker, it is the same thing. Like, okay, I have pocket aces. I bet 3x the blind because I know that everybody at the table is loose as hell, and I want a little bit of action. I'll bet 3x the blind. I don't push it, but I'm also trying to push out other people. They don't fold because you're playing with noobs. By the way, if you're playing poker, noobs are poker player kryptonite. They don't know when the hell to go home, and then they pull a king jack out of their... Because again, I'm sitting in pocket aces. I'm trying to push everybody out of the pot. Nobody left. And it came up king jack 9. I'm like, fuck. Because I'm like, somebody kept 10 queen. Somebody kept it.
The other problem I have with the Arena Open is I feel like the threshold to make day 2 is too high.
Oh, absolutely. It is absolutely.
7 and 2 is hard.
Then again, that's what I wanted to talk about too with the day 2. Is that day 2, there were problems in that you're given a 2-hour window to log in and start playing day 2. Somebody was saying, they were saying on Twitter. It's like, I didn't realize I had to be playing at this 2-hour window. I thought I had today. Like, I thought I could just log in much like I do on Saturday and roll up. Mm-hmm. Nope. You have to be there at a certain window. So this guy who managed to qualify for day 2 didn't get to play anything because he's like, it's mucking Father's Day. Like, we made breakfast in bed for my wife, and they wanted me on the computer at 10 o'clock.
Right.
It's a problem. The
timing was poor with a holiday weekend.
They need to do something. They need to decide. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. They need to shit or get off the pot. Are you going to do this or not? All right. If you're not going to do this, then you might as well let us stay in MTGO where we own the cards and where, you know what, the interface sucks. So spend some money on the interface. But, let us stay in MTGO where at least shit works. And you pull things off like this all of the time without any problems.
Well, saying things work in MTGO is a bit of an overstatement. But yeah, I see what you're saying. It's a more stable client. There's still some crazy
there's
bugs
crazy
in
bugs
MTGO
and
that
stuff.
they had never squashed. But there's certain cards that are broken, like not like broken power. They just break the game. But MTGO is that is the perfect analog simulation to real life Magic.
Yeah.
Arena is arcade Magic.
Right. And it's
You know,
really
it's
the
flashy,
problem.
it's pretty. I mean, I love the graphical interface of Arena. I love how when Arena works, it's slick, it's fast, it's great. There's a lot of features that aren't in there that I want. There's a lot of things that they haven't done that I wish they would. And this right here is one of the things I wish they would do is fix the freaking stability that pops up anytime they want to try to do something that's actually kind of cool.
Right.
Something breaks.
It's
And
yeah.
the game's been around too long, and we're too far into the 21st century for shit like this to keep happening.
Exactly. So Arena needs to fix what they're doing.
Get good, Wizards.
And then finally, here on our we got two last final things, but the second to last final thing is that during the weekly MTG thing last week, they came out with something else, in that Wizards is going to allow in-person paper Magic to resume, starting May 28th for most U.S. locations. They will, because up till now, okay, let's be honest, there are stores out there that have been running events this whole time. And I'm not going to slam them or not. You know, our opinions have been pretty much out there. And I can't fault any store for doing what they had to do to survive. I totally understand that. And so I'm very excited, though, that for the most part, okay, they get to kind of come out of the shadows a little bit. You know, your things are going to count. And again, we still haven't seen what a post DCI Friday Night Magic looks like. None of us have seen it yet.
Nope.
So the return to paper Magic, you can run events again in store May 28th for most U.S. locations. You still have to follow local safety guidelines. So, you know, things regarding occupancy, things regarding mask wearing, things regarding social distancing. You know, that's all going to still be there. So here's the deal. And I mean, I talked to a few stores today, okay, because this is big news, and we have a relationship with some stores. I wasn't able to get a hold of Chris. Chris is, you know, Gamers Revolt, they were the first people we talked to. He's really trying to save that store. He does have a GoFundMe out there. You can find it. I didn't get a chance to talk to him. I did talk to Anastasia today, and she told me that, and I should pull that up in Facebook, but basically what she told me was, you know, that they're very much looking forward to getting back to in-person play. You know, getting back into that. Let me see. Where did she write? Blah. So many people texted me today. I can't find. Okay. So basically I said, you know, morning quick queue, you know, how do you feel about the return to play? Are you planning to go full open when they allow? What type of restrictions? And she was like, well, I just talked to my brothers, and we're going to start doing sanctioned events again. No details yet. Probably just weekly Friday Night Magic to start. Probably capping out on people, etc. Again, no hard details yet. So everybody's still you know, shifting. And she even then goes on to say, although we are super duper excited that we can finally baby step into a more normal world, this is the best news of this whole thing.
And you know what? That's the best response.
Yes.
I think that's a perfect response. Is that, listen, May 28th, United States sanction ban is lifted. That doesn't mean you can have GPs. So what the stores need to do is go, okay, what are our guidelines? What can we do? What can't we do? Let's test this out. Baby steps.
Yeah.
That is the perfect way to deal with this, because you cannot rush into this, because those situations where you rush into it are the situations where people get sick.
And as of right now, Kerwin's, I did talk to their new manager over there. He was telling me, he's like, you know, Steve and his partners are he was like, they're talking about the details right now. We don't have any information yet. Obviously, they are not planning to open May 28th, though. I'm pretty sure he would have said that.
They're not.
Yeah.
When I spoke to them, their unofficial position was that it's not going to happen on May 28th. It may not happen for several weeks or maybe a month or two after that. That they finally do it. I imagine it's going to be a situation where, like, in my head, I can see it. The way the tables are set up is not conducive to social distancing.
No.
From the across the table perspective, that's not 6 feet. So what they'll probably do is they're either going to have you wear masks, or if they don't require masks, which in New York they still will, but if you were outside of New York, and they may even still do this in New York, They might even put a plexiglass partition running down the middle of the table,
Which would be smart. That would be the
which
best
would
thing
be
to
smart.
do. You know.
And it still eliminates like like how some people are like, oh, what does that card do? Can I read it? It eliminates that still because the person can just pick it up and hold it up to the plexiglass and you can read it that way.
Right.
So masks and that sort of thing. I mean, I don't know if they would do a vaccine passport. Some places, I don't know if that's the type of thing they would be interested in doing.
God, I hope not. I mean, I have the vaccine. I hate the idea of the passport. Just me personally. I'm like, oh, God. Right now, I get it, but I just worry that it could be abused for something else later.
Maybe, yeah. It's one of those things where it's a new thing. So
Yeah. And then the other store I didn't get a chance to talk to, but it is kind of an update. We talked about Flights of Fantasy being closed.
Mhm.
They are actually, Flights of Fantasy is the bookstore, and that is going strictly online, but they have broken off into Flights to Game and Hobby Shop, which
Yes.
will still be at that location. And they had a post on their site basically saying, that yes, we're going to be doing in-person play. So
Yeah.
it's really, really great.
I'm just happy that it's coming.
Yeah, me too. I'm very excited. I kind of want to check out the Flights to Game. Maybe we should have them on. Maybe we should reach out since they're a new store. Like maybe we'll have them on one week. But yeah, it's very exciting. Yeah, you and I will be at Kerwin's Friday Night Magic the minute they open.
The first Friday Night Magic that they have. I mean, you're gonna. I'm gonna be there.
I got to be honest with you. I almost don't want to play. I almost would rather just do a freaking like live remote broadcast of this show from there. Like, I mean, it's such a big, awesome thing that as much as I want to play, I love the idea of just, making it an event. But
the one thing it tells me is that I gotta start getting standard singles again.
Yeah, no shit. Well, you and me both. Well, since we don't have students, we might be able to maybe not play standard.
Yeah, go play Commander.
Go play some Commander.
I can farm people with Zakama. But I mean, like,
no, you cannot play Zakama. No, fucking A, man.
It's just the fact that we didn't know when this was going to come back.
Right
now we have a date.
Yeah. It's bringing us back to normal. It's bringing us back to normal. It has been a long year of
but that's
craziness.
The thing. We have to remain vigilant.
Yes.
We have to continue with baby steps. We cannot rush into this, folks, because we don't want to be back here.
We don't want to be
6
Texas.
Months. We don't want to be India.
Oh.
So really, seriously, I'm not even joking. Just baby steps. Don't rush the people in charge that are making these decisions, because they're looking at the data, they're looking at the science, and then all this information is constantly changing. So for them to be able to stay on top of it, I mean, just baby steps. We'll get there. We will get there. Just keep doing the right thing.
7.8%. I didn't realize that was so. That's some good stuff right there.
Yeah, it just dripped off your beard there.
Hey, now.
I can see it.
Hi.
You got a little.
Got a little sputz.
I know you're saving some for later, but
Yeah, I'm just gonna. All right. Anyway, moving on. So let's talk about real quick. We got to get out of here. We want to update you on the tournament. We did have a winner. They won last Tuesday. Major Tom won. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. Johnny the Man won. No, Major Tom won. He did get his box of regular draft boosters, which is almost more valuable than set boosters.
Those are like $1.30, $1.40 now.
Tom, don't even open them, man. Just sell them on eBay.
Yeah,
so
keep that sealed.
So congratulations to him. We will be doing another tournament for Forgotten Realms. We'll start putting that together probably. Well, when does this Forgotten Realms comes out like late June, right? So we'll start putting it together probably later this month. It can't be.
The previews start on June 29th.
Yeah, so it's in July. Hold on.
Yeah, it's a July set.
Forgotten Realms release date is released of AFR via MTG
July 23rd.
July 8th. It's on MTG Arena?
Yeah.
On July 8th.
July 23rd.
So pre-release will be
16
to the 22nd. So yeah.
Yeah.
So shit, we're gonna end up having to do this like week 1 of June if we want to make it early enough. We might do that.
Here's the thing. July 16th to the 22nd, there is an outside possibility there may be an in-store pre-release at Kerwin's.
Please, from your
Can you
lips
imagine?
to God's ear, man.
Can you imagine?
You know what? That
It's a
would be
non-zero.
we would go to Friday night and play, and then I'd be like, Steve, let us broadcast Saturday. Like, set up the table. Like we will run a freaking because that would just be so much fun.
I cannot wait. And it would be, you know what? It would be full circle for the show because our first and only broadcast tournament so far was the last tournament that Kerwin's held before COVID.
Yes, and if anybody still has the clip when we went old timey-wimey, like I'm gonna try to find it. It's got to be out there somewhere. All right, so congratulations, Major Tom.
Yes,
So
congratulations, man.
Yes, and be watching for Forgotten Realms. And finally, the last thing we want to talk about, and we'll mention it at least once more, I'm sure. Next week's show, again, episode 100, guys. We have made it 100 episodes. That's incredible for a podcast, especially a weekly podcast. And we're, I think we did really well this time. Like 52 happened right around this time last year, which means we did almost 48 in 52 weeks. I think we've only missed like 3 or 4 weeks. So episode 100, it will be a call-in show. So how that'll work is this, okay? It'll go through our Discord. Aramis and I, instead of being on Zoom, we'll use Zoom for the cameras, and then our audio will go through Discord, much like we do with Wednesday Night Commander Craft. There will be a waiting room. You can hop in, and Aramis and I will BS and talk, and then we will bring people in one at a time. And you know what? If you hang out afterward, maybe we'll bring people in 3 at a time. Who knows? And have like a whole discussion. Anything goes. We would love to have you participate. We have so many people that listen to this. I see the numbers of downloads. I see the numbers of views. Please, come hang out with us Monday. Celebrate episode 100 with us. We have the explicit tag, so you can say fuck as much as you want. We just, don't hit the bong while you're on mic, and we're going to be all good otherwise. So, yeah, I probably should put a list up of, like, slight rules.
Do's and don'ts.
Yeah, now that I think about it, because the bong thing, that could happen. Like,
well,
that's...
hey, I mean, if you want to throw a bone at them, I have a couple of pre-release codes from Strixhaven.
I might as well, actually.
You guys want a couple of pre-release codes? If you haven't cracked one of those yet, that might be a little incentive to call in.
Yeah, see, so
get some pickety packs on Arena.
Pickety pack. Yes, but you have to be interesting.
You have to be interesting.
Yes. All right. So that is next week, 8:00 Eastern time in the United States of America. All right. So if you're across the international date line, it'll be sometime next Wednesday at 8:00 Eastern. I have no idea how the damn date line works. Seriously, I can't imagine
until you hit the middle of the Pacific, and then it turns into tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what the hell that would be like. I keep thinking like I would go through and all of a sudden like I'm arriving in Australia 17 years before I left. I don't know how any of it works.
That's basically how it works. Yeah, and then the giant huntsman spider comes out from underneath the car and eats you.
Or the convicts. Don't forget, it was an island of convicts for a lot of years.
It was a penal colony. Yeah.
All right, so on that note, let's get to... All right, so Aramis and I are rolling up our play mats. We're putting the cards back in the boxes and taking the pieces of boxes over to the trash because, damn it, your mother still does not work in this video store. We want to take a
video store.
Oh, my God, I said video store again! What the hell, man? That's 3 weeks in a row.
He's losing it, folks.
All right, so your mother doesn't work in this gaming store that happens to have videos in it. We want to remind you that we have a Twitch channel where we stream all sorts of content. I've actually started streaming DCU online. I've actually rolled up a character that I'm building on stream. So look up PlanesTalkers podcast channel on Twitch. Obviously, we'll stream Arena when we play. We stream Commander Craft. We stream this show when it's recording. Everything's there. Just look us up there. PlanesTalkers Podcast. You can also follow me on Twitch at MindCrime73.
And if you want to interact with us more directly, we have a great Discord. That's where we held the tournament. That's where we're going to be holding the call-in show next week. So if you want to call into the show next week for episode 100, you must join the Discord.
Yes, you must.
So you want to find the Discord? Discord.planestalkerspodcast.com.
Look,
Couldn't
we could
be any more simple than
Yeah,
that.
we couldn't have made it any more easy. I actually have to pay to be able to do that. I use a service that lets us put because we have
You
the
don't have to-
the invite code discord.gg/characters you'd never remember.
You don't have to sneeze on your keyboard to find our Discord. Okay?
No, discord.planestalkerspodcast.com. Tell your friends.
Tell your
And
friends, yep.
oh, I'm sorry. You Twitter?
Twitter, yeah, Twitter at PlanesTalkerPod. You want
Yes.
to find us on Twitter at PlanesTalkerPod. That's
Right.
where we are.
And my
Twitter,
personal
tweets.
Twitter is at WR Benson, but again, I really don't tweet all that often. I tend to just be there to follow, my favorite actors out there, like Robert Englund from the Freddy Krueger franchise. Actually, I think I do follow him. And of course, you always can find us and follow us on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/PlanesTalker. There's no S at the end. We took that last S off, and we gave it to you for shit. I'm kidding. But we took that last S off because somebody took PlanesTalkers and they talk about airplanes on that site. Because I actually went there and I'm like, okay, I can understand why you did it, but man, I want that name. And but like and follow our page there. And don't forget, we do I did it again. I did do last week too. We do have a playcast that we do on Wednesdays called Commander Craft, where we play Paper Commander live with everybody. Any of our listeners can join. We have one seat open for Wednesday. It is constructed, so we might even have Nick come out of the woodwork. But if you'd like to play, again, hit us up on the Discord. That is where we put the information. That's where I throw the invites out. Tune into our channels, though, to watch that. If you don't want to play, come back and hang out on any of our channels Wednesday at around 7 Eastern for the funness of Commander. No Zakamas allowed.
Until they are, and then it crushes everything.
I hate that card.
But quickly, emails. You want to email the show? There's 3 of them, okay? One goes to both of us.
One
Podcast@planestalkerspodcast.com.
one email.
There's one. Another one goes to Will. Will@planestalkerspodcast.com.
Two emails.
Last one goes to me. Aramis@planestalkerspodcast.com.
Four emails.
1, 2, 4. No, that's like the holy hand grenade of Antioch. You can't go to 4. You have to go to 3.
3 no longer exists. I actually went and got hypnotized by somebody back in the late 90s. They made me forget the number 3. And let's not discuss it. It really made graduating from college harder. One last thing. I have a sad announcement to make in that usually this will be the part where I advertise Legends TV Talk, the other podcast I do. I'm no longer doing that podcast. The other hosts and I kind of discussed it over the weekend, and I have to step away because my life is just too busy doing this show and other stuff. And so we're shuttering it. I think Legends TV Talk is going away. So I do play, Flashcraft still with those guys. I'm still great friends with them. I probably will be involved in some things they have going on occasionally. But Legends TV Talk, it was a great run. We ran for 5 seasons and it was really great. I really enjoyed the show, but we're just not doing it anymore. But thank you guys for being, patrons of that. I know some of you did listen to that and would ask me about it from time to time. I'm really honored and touched by that. We do want to remind you about our iTunes reviews. Look, I know it's a little weird because, Spotify doesn't really have reviews, and I see the data and I understand that about a quarter of our listenership is actually from Spotify. But and if you have an Android phone, you can't get to it either. Really, it would help the show a ton though to get more eyes on the show through the Apple network. The only way to really do that without paying them an exorbitant amount of money for advertising is to have reviews. So if you could go to Apple iTunes, download it to your Windows computer even, and leave us a 5-star review there. We will read it on the show. I would really, really appreciate it. It's a really great way to bring eyes to the show. But on that note, we want to thank you for listening to us tonight. We were really thankful that you guys were here. We will be back next week for our big 100 spectacular. You're not going to want to miss that. As well as Wednesday night is Commander Craft, where we're going to have Apple playing me and Aramis and at least one other listener. So for Aramis Perez, this is Will Benson again saying thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of this great show. And reminding you to keep some of your mana untapped because you never know when you'll need it. Take care and have a great week. Bye-bye. And we're out. And my audio stayed recording. Thank God. Oh, I was a little frightened about that one. I was like, because
Yeah, was a little hairy at the beginning.
welcome to the post-show shenanigans.
So going back to what you mentioned to me at the beginning of the show about being able to play Zakama without playing Brawl.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to ask you about that during the show.
All right, it's post-show content.
Yes.
I just play in the casual queue. I go and I make a 100-card deck, singleton. Basically, it's like a commander deck with a commander shuffled in. It's almost like Gladiator, and I just play
Against who?
anybody.
Just in the casual queue?
Just in the casual queue, and I get curb stomped most of the time, but
But when you don't,
when I don't, oh my god, the turns are glorious.
I'm loving
And I
Historic
have-
Brawl being back. They should
Yeah, I
keep
do.
this. They need to keep this in the format.
They do. They need to keep it.
because it's as close as you get to Commander.
Yeah. I mean, I would love it if they eventually decide.
I'm having
to
a
put
bitch of a
Commander in
time
there.
with Turgid though. I have to switch up my commanders. I don't know if it's their matchmaking algorithm or if they're just better commanders out there. But
there are.
I think I played like 12 games today and lost 11. Like I was getting because there's no quick way to get her out. There's no quickness. There's no
Black
ramp.
doesn't do that. Black does not do
And
that.
everything ramps. Every other damn deck ramps. Like
Well,
it's
that's-
its job.
It's degenerate in
Yeah.
that respect. I mean, I hate. My biggest gripe with Brawl is the Planeswalker commanders because they're hard enough to deal with already.
Yeah.
And by the time you finally kill one, they've already got enough mana to pay for the tax.
Yeah, it's
And there are some decks out there who are like, it's because you can activate them right away. Like somebody had a Nicol Bolas Dragon God,
oh,
and they had it at
Jesus.
3 loyalty, so they activated it to kill it, recast it, and activated it again.
Wow.
And it's like, that sucks. I hate that. So that's why I spend most of the time playing in the casual queue. I have like 15 or 16 different decks that are basically gladiator decks, I guess you could call them. Singleton decks with the commander shuffled in, essentially. And the only thing that sucks is that you can only do historic, so I can't play counterspell, I can't play dark ritual, I can't play that stuff like that,
Right.
unless they did a direct challenge in which.
But Historic
I only have,
Brawl,
like-
everything's legal. Like
Most of it.
Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt's legal. I was lightning bolting shit today. I was like, holy shit, this is legal?
Yeah, dark ritual is not. I don't think.
Yes it is.
Tainted Pact definitely isn't.
No, Tainted Pact is not.
But like I only have a couple people on my friends list on Arena, so it's like that's the only way I'd be able to play actually with every card. So
Yeah, it's kind of insane.
it's fun to do it. It allows me to play and have fun and not have to worry about playing meta or anything like that, and just jam games.
Yeah. And there's nothing
Plus, since
better
I
than
have-
jamming games.
Yeah, and since I have so many decks, I can always meet the color requirement for whatever quest happens to be out that day.
Yeah. So I'm probably going to switch to Corvold tomorrow and, work on that.
That works. Corvold's very strong.
Oh, yeah. All right. Episode 9, I'm up there in the Dropbox.
Mine's doing the thing.
Oh, okay.
Updating. Should be done
Sweet.
shortly.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to next week. Seriously, guys, those of you watching, look, you're obviously, like, all of you hung around, man. We had, like, 5 watchers all night. Like, you guys would be perfect for next week. Like,
Mhm.
make sure you get in. And like I said, we'll put up some information as far as, yeah, you can't torque the bong, man. Don't toke the bong on the show. Like, yeah, I remember when we were doing the Commander Craft launch with Anthony and Steve. I'm like, no, guys, you can't vape. Like, this is not.
Gotta lay off the vaping.
Yeah. Yes, I can drink a beer. Why? Because it's literally been part of the DNA since literally the first show, where I was like, you know what? Here's the thing. I did Christian radio for a lot of years, and I love it. I still do. But you can't have a beer on Christian radio. So now that I have my own podcast, fuck yeah, I'm having a beer. Because I love beer.
And you dropping the F-bomb.
And I said an F-bomb. Yeah, my wife's like, and you said the F word.
Well,
Well, fuck. Yeah, so no. This is a good night, man. I wasn't sure if we were going to have to try to stretch this, but anytime we're doing previews, we should just automatically plan for 30 minutes on the previews. Because there's tech stuff. It's like, I think we spend 10 minutes in pre-show or in on tap upkeep. And then, which I'm all for, by the way. My personal feeling is, look, we are the show. All right. We're not telling them anything that they can't hear at any other show. We're the value add on this show,
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what? Us saying, hey, this is going on in our lives, that's kind of important. So,
yeah. Modern Horizons previews start next week.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I'm really starting to wonder if I should. Do I order a box, or do I take the money I would have spent on a box and just go buy Fetch Lands?
Just go buy Fetch Lands. If that's what you're after, just go buy Fetch Lands.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, to me, I want to see what else is in the set because
So do
the
I.
Urza
I guess.
Saga Land, the Urza Saga. Did you see the
That thing is.
that thing's so cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be. That won't be annoying at all.
Nope. Commander's like, oh, I didn't draw my Soul Ring or Mana Vault. I'll just go fetch it.
Yeah.
Just get it.
Yeah.
So it's done it for my casting. It can't counter its trigger. There you
Yeah.
go. Great. But it's really, I love the way they did that. It's really cool, and it's a solid card.
It is. That would be a reason to get it too. But again, I mean, I'm starting to lean. All right, maybe it's watching The Professor too much.
Buy singles.
I'm starting to really think about that. Because
Yeah,
again, once I get downstairs too, once my daughter finally moves out someday, God, I hope. I hope she doesn't leave. I really hope she leaves. I'll get my office, and then I'll have like all the room in the world for Magic cards. But like, I'm getting a little tight in here now. Like,
Yeah.
So.
Maybe
Yep, I know how that
you
feels.
didn't collect so much crap.
This was supposed to be my office, my one room in the house
And
that
if
was
I
could be
wasn't here, then you would have plenty of room.
Right,
You
but
sacrificed for me, and I do appreciate that.
so
'Cause you
maybe
are the best
we
husband in
don't
the
bring
world.
up.
You just shut up and you listen to me now.
Send help. Better yet, send
Sorry.
assassins.
I think she already hired them.
She probably did already hire them. But yeah, it was really, yeah. Maybe we have the flight. Maybe we should have the flights guys on, like
Yeah,
because
that's
they're a
right.
local store, and maybe reach out to Zombie Planet. Like I get that we're not Capital Region, like we're trying to keep this like national and stuff, but we're
Yeah.
also still Capital Region, so.
Capital
I would
Region,
not
yeah,
mind
Capital
reaching
Region,
out
Hudson Valley.
to Zombie Planet because they also were kind of like Steve. They're like, no, we're closed, motherfucker. We're closed. So it'd be maybe I will reach out to them because that would be an interesting question because Steve's gonna stay closed, but maybe Zombie Planet's like, well, now let's open up and
It's going to depend on like even county by county. You might
Yeah.
get different responses.
Well, and that's just it here. I mean, Stacia, is very excited to reopen publicly, and I think that's great. I really do. And you know what? I might go. I might go some night on a Friday.
Well, I mean,
and
like
just sit,
if you at this point where we are, if you're vaccinated
which I am,
and you're following whatever guidelines are in place,
which I won't. Oh, I hate the mask. You know what? I figured out why I hate the mask so much.
oh, you think that's bad?
And the glasses. No, I wear glasses too most days. I've got great glasses now. I've got these great transition lenses and stuff. But it's like the beard it's a pain. And then I'm working in a medical center, right? And they're like, you might as well not even have the mask on. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, your beard is just coming out underneath it. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, it's literally not doing anything. You breathe all over your beard all day long. I'm like, oh, you're right. And I think they were inferring I should shave it. But I was like,
Yeah.
no, I probably should just go without a mask then. You're probably totally right. Don't get me wrong. Wendy would love me to shave this. Like, oh my God. I could get some serious, like, I could probably get like a steak dinner if I shaved my beard. But ain't happening. Because look at this, man. It's growing in pretty good now, man. And I'm keeping it trimmed up a little bit. Like the last time I did it, it was growing out here and it didn't look right. This is a good look for me, I think. All right, here's the thing, guys. You want to know what it is? Here's why fat men love beards. Ready? You don't see the chins. All right? The double chins ain't there. They're hidden under a beard.
You want to check to see if you have it? I think you have mine now.
Your beard? Why would I have your beard? Technically, I thought I was your beard. No. Wait, no, that would be Pam. I said that once. I'm like, Wendy, you're my beard, honey. I'm just totally, you're just my beard.
I'm not even going to justify that with a response.
Stop it, jeepers. Okay. Well, and on that note.
Yeah. Do you have the audio file?
I do have the audio file. So I am going to save this file so that if I have to edit it later, because sometimes I do have to go back in and mess with the levels. Episode 99, right?
Yep, 99.
99 will love below. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do the going through and editing post-game stuff. I started it. It's the real problem is that Facebook removing the download video option makes it so, it means I have to go to Twitch, I have to download it, then I have to reconvert it to something that I can just pull audio off of. And it's not where it's like, I don't know that we're going to have enough to be worth it. So, but you and I should probably talk this week. We definitely should do a test run on using Zoom, but Discord, just to make sure that rolls. I don't see why it wouldn't. We do it every week with Commander Craft. All we'd be doing is saying, I think we would just have to tell Zoom that we're dialing in as opposed to using computer audio. Just be like, we're dialing in. And it should work. The audio quality isn't going to be that good. I mean, Discord, there's problems as far as, if when we're talking one over the other or whatever. But for the most part, I think we should be okay. And then I will set it. I think there's a setting in Discord voice chat too where I could set it to where you and I are priority so that if we have I have no problem. And guys, again, really want y'all in this one, but I have no problem using the kick button. I will be like, nope, out. I will Howard Stern your ass. But I'm looking forward to it. I think this is going to be so much fun. Like,
I can't believe we made it 100.
I can. You know what? You and I, and we'll talk about this next week, but that'll be part of it. Like next week's going to kind of be an us show. Like there's not going to be a ton of news. We're going to talk about this show because we made it 100 episodes. Unless something really, really big happens. But if it's a week like this where this week we had Forgotten Realms, but if it was a week like last week, then you know what? I want to talk about what this show's about and what we are, and absolutely, because there are a lot of podcasts that don't make it 100. So we've done something really good, dude. So something to be proud of, really.
Oh yeah, I'm beyond. Oh, I'm over the moon.
I see, but I knew you and I would be perfect. I was like, you know what? We like each other a lot. We're really good friends, but we're also completely different cats. So, we are totally like, we can be opposites to where there's enough, we can butt heads enough to where it's interesting to watch. Mm-hmm. If we were both kind of the same type of player, if we were both dirty, rotten control players, then, this cast could be somewhat boring and cerebral.
Speak for yourself, you filthy casual.
Hey, this is a show by casuals for casuals, sir. I say casuals with an S, meaning both of us, you son of a bitch. But yes. No. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. We'll see you Wednesday for Commander Craft. Again, we need one more, guys. Let us know. Go to our Discord. Send us an email. Smoke signal, carrier
That is
pigeon.
what commander you want to play.
Yeah. What commander you want to play? We should put that document together as far as power levels and stuff. I got to finish that. All right, guys. We'll talk to you later. Have a good week. Bye-bye.